Hey, it's David Rowland with Today's Warrior, and I am here with one of my favorite one-on-one warriors, Abby. Thank you so much for joining me, Abby.
Yeah, of
I appreciate
course.
it. Hey, so what are we doing today? I just kind of wanted to talk about what I do as a coach and what we do as a business. And really, this came up the other week because I was talking to a buddy of mine, and he was kind of like, "Yeah, no, Dave, I get what you do. You know, you put together nutrition plans for people, you put together training plans for people, and that's wonderful. And we see your people getting great results." And I was like, although I do that, and I think that's very important, that's just kind of the beginning, if you will. In fact, that's kind of the easy part. So I just wanted to take a little bit of time and kind of go through what I do. And Abby was kind enough to join me here as someone that's been through this process. And I just thought that she might have like a different insight or a different perspective on this. And, you know, first of all, that whole client confidentiality thing is incredibly, incredibly important to me. And Abby and I did have a conversation prior, and she is just wonderfully open and willing to share her story. So thank you for that, Abby. And I think you have a great story, and you look fantastic. But we're going to get into like how you look and how you feel and all that stuff in a little bit. Okay.
Super.
So that's kind of our goal for today. Is that cool?
Sounds good. Absolutely.
Awesome. Okay. You know, getting back to my friend's point of, you know, what all do you do? There are absolutely phases that I take my people through. And I'm going to go through these phases real quick, but we're going to kind of dig into the details a little bit of each of kind of the phases, if you will. The first phase is the plan. We create an appropriate plan for people, and then we work it into their lifestyle. And boy, this is really an important part here, because we can have a great plan, but if we're not able to execute it, and as I always say, consistency is king. And if we can't work it into our lifestyle to a point in which we can be consistent with it, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how great the plan was. Okay. Then we get to this phase 3 where it says fat loss and boost your metabolism or gain muscle. Now, your goals might not be fat loss, but as we go through this, I might reference that just because it makes the conversation a little bit easier, but we can substitute in a myriad of goals there. Phase 4 here would be reestablishing a person's metabolism. And this is an area where I've had a lot of great conversations recently and had a lot of compliments from my people, because they say, Dave, never starting a diet before, was there ever a plan to reestablish my metabolism afterwards? And as we get into the final phase here, the golden ring, I got to tell you, if we're not reestablishing your metabolism afterwards, what's the point? Because this can't be, at least from my perspective, this isn't about losing 10 pounds for a wedding. This is achieving your goals and just using an example of weight loss. And I do a lot more things than just weight loss, but if we can't keep the weight loss off, what's the point? In fact, if, you know, a different conversation for another day, I can get into why that scenario is really, really bad. You with me? And Abby's been through all of this, and Abby's sitting real proud on the final stage here, what I kind of affectionately or maybe humorously call the golden ring, but we'll get into that. But that's where Abby is now. You know, as we go through this, I would how do you consider like how many different places or phases, if you will, that diets can fail. And we hear all the time about people, I started this diet or this New Year's resolution, and I was on it for 2 weeks or 4 weeks or whatever. But when we go through this, I just kind of want you to just like take a moment and say like, oh, I remember that one diet I was on. That's why I failed, or that's why I failed. And if you failed, man, I love you, because you keep getting back up and trying to do this again. And that's a wonderful thing. But let's jump into this a little bit. Okay. Phase one here is the plan. And, I think back to, so how do we create the plan and what does that look like? The main thing that we look at is demographics. And when I started with Abby about 2 years ago, I sent her, I think it's like a 13 or 15 page goal review assessment kind of a deal. Do you remember doing that?
I absolutely do. It was a while ago, but I do.
Well, and we should do sometime, we should go back and kind of take a good hard look at that again, and kind of where was your mindset at that time and where's your mindset now. But we get into demographics, male, female, age, height, weight. We get into your goals, what you want to accomplish. And this is a big one, history. What were you doing? Where are you coming from? Mm-hmm. And that's something that in a moment, I'm going to ask Abby to kind of dig into. But so again, let's kind of Abby-ize this. What were your goals in coming to me, and what was your history?
I remember using the word skinny fat with you because I did cardio, and that's all I ever did. And that's all I ever knew to do. Even though my husband is an avid weightlifter, I never got into our home gym, and I had all of this accessible to me, and I never lifted weights because all I knew and all I ever did was the cardio aspect, but I never developed the tone that I wanted or really built up my metabolism. I was skinny, but I wasn't fit. And I think that after having my 12-year-old and then my twins that are 5 now, I just needed to get back into something better that just really made my physique a lot better than just being thin. I just didn't feel fit. Underneath my belly button was an area, like my stomach, I really just wanted to work on after having kids. And yeah, that routine wasn't working for me.
So okay, back up a minute. Abby is a mother of 3, 2 of which are twinsies. Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's kind of all remember that we are all busy.
Yeah.
And now you are back to teaching. So Abby is also a teacher.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Mother of 3, including 2 twins, wife, teacher, and I know that you also wear other hats too.
Yeah, lots of volunteering on my end too.
Yeah. So, okay. So from a lifestyle perspective, not only did we want to help you achieve your goals, but we had to make that work with your life.
Yes, okay. Definitely.
Abby's story is one that I hear way too often. And I'm sorry to say, I know in 2022, we're not supposed to stereotype, but I'm going to stereotype a little bit. It is a dynamic that I hear a lot from women. Eating like a bird, and doing a ton of cardio, and continuing to do it even when that's not driving them to their goals. Mm-hmm. We made a lot of changes.
Yeah, absolutely.
so we taken this information, and then I gave Abby her new program, and it included nutrition and training and cardio, or in Abby's case, lack thereof, a schedule to follow. So she knew what was expected to do, what she was expected to do, what days. And again, getting back into her lifestyle, we made the schedule work within her lifestyle. And I would say every step of the way, and please correct me if I'm wrong. Mm-hmm. Hey, Abby, I want to do this, or is this doable? Are we going to be able to work this into your life?
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Of course, we make adjustments to the plan as necessary. And one thing that is very important for me is I am here for my people. And I only work with about 15 to 18 people at a time. So that does give me some added flexibility in that I can be what I hope is super available to my people.
Totally.
Whether Abby's like texting me in the night, or I'll get a text from her in the morning, like, hey, here's my breakfast. What do you think of this? You know, I'm at the grocery store. Should I buy this or that? But all that good stuff. The other thing that we do that's very important to me is we have weekly accountability calls. And every week we jump on a call like this and we talk about our successes and we talk about our challenges and the changes to our program. And the cool thing about this is, as I get to know my person, the more we can make this work into their lifestyle. Okay, maybe we'll talk more about this later, but, oh, you have an upcoming beach vacation? We're gonna make some adjustments. Oh, you're gonna whatever, your teaching hours have increased. Hey, we're gonna make some of these adjustments. By the way, here is what Abby's program became. So from not lifting weights to hardly eating to doing a ton of cardio, and she was a little reluctant. She was a little reluctant in the beginning. I don't think look at that big smile. She's not reluctant now. But what we ended up doing was taking away all the cardio, moving her to lifting weights 3 times a week. Each workout was taking about an hour.
Yeah.
Right. So instead of doing whatever the hell you were doing, 90 minutes of cardio a day, you went to lifting weights 3 times a week for an hour. So, you know, again, you went from, I don't know, 6, 7, 10 hours of training a week to 3 hours a week.
Right.
We ended up doubling her calories.
Yes.
How did you feel about that? That was fun, right?
Right. I mean, in the beginning, it was an adjustment, but like we've talked about in our sessions, like I can't not anymore. My body is so used to it and needs it. And I feel so much better eating so much more. It's crazy.
Yeah, and we'll get into the results that you receive, but I know like one of them from a kind of a dieting perspective, I guess, was you felt as though there was a little belly poochiness there that you wanted to get rid of.
Absolutely, yes.
Is that okay for me to say?
Absolutely, open book here, yes.
You're wonderful. You're wonderful. But it's interesting that to get rid of that, we had to, amongst other things, increase your calories.
Yes.
Awesome. So really the plan that people think like, oh, this is what Dave does. He gives people a plan. That's the easy part. And that's kind of phase 1. And then we get into the lifestyle. You know, this is where we really kind of get the ball rolling, what I call the positive ball rolling. Where we're starting to develop some momentum from our past successes and get Abby's mindset right and really kind of tune into that accountability. And the thing I love is taking the time to turn challenges into opportunities. Okay. So, you know, one of Abby's challenges was, hey, I'm going back to teaching. How do we make that work? And I don't think we got it right out of the gate. And by the way, this was kind of down our road a little bit. So we had been working together for a while, but when we had this challenge okay, of you going back to teaching, but I think we were able to overcome that.
It was really about planning. And like you've said many times, so it's not just all this that you do for me, but your little tidbits of advice and, put it on your calendar. You'll get it done. Like if it's on there, it's set for you to do. And so it's not only, so it's that making sure it's on my calendar and scheduled, but then, adjusting my food. Like I have to bring my food with me. So instead of making this at home, this is my adjustment. And I was able to work through that challenge. Yeah.
I do think that I have a bit of a unique perspective on this, in that I spent, if you don't know, I spent 33 years on the road in a sales capacity, corporate America, traveling the United States. Like so I'm 59 now. Hurts to say, but I'm 59 now. But I've been through this stuff. I've been through the children. I've been through the medical issues. I mean, 3 years ago, my wife had cancer and went through chemo, and wow, that's a challenge. Okay, that's a challenge for her, challenge for me, challenge for the family. The travels of my work were a challenge, but other people will come to me. My other, one-on-one warriors will come to me with, hey, my boss is sending me to Vegas for a week for a national sales meeting. What do I do? Been there, done that. Okay. I have to travel. I'm driving to Washington, D.C. for a seminar. Dave, how do we overcome that? Oh, my children are in sports all the time. How do we overcome that? So, we take these opportunities, we take these challenges and turn them into opportunities.
Yeah.
You good with that?
Absolutely.
I'm going to keep moving on here. And through that whole process, we're developing great habits. And, so Abby alluded to the fact that she feels so much better when she's eating the way she's eating now, right? That's kind of what you said in the beginning part of our conversation. You think about that. And I'll use the analogy of like brushing your teeth. We get to where we as adults, hopefully, we're to the point where we don't think about brushing our teeth anymore. We just brush our teeth. And I would say Abby is now to that point where she doesn't even think about this stuff anymore. It is very natural. And oh, today I'm doing this, therefore I need to prepare this, this, and this, or whatever that looks like. The habits just make it easier.
Right. And it makes me feel so good. And if I miss anything, I know it and I can feel it, and I get right back on it. I get right back on track.
So your habits and your discipline are, again, when you talk about getting that positive snowball rolling, your habits and your discipline is now keeping you on track. You don't want to feel crummy.
Right.
Your mom, you got a lot going on. Like, you don't want to feel crappy.
Yeah. I start my day off right, and it just leads to continuing to do my nutrition correctly every day. It just flows. If I start my day off the way that I should, it just naturally, flows now at this point.
Awesome. That is so wonderful. Let's jump here into group 3. If I hit the right button. Okay, so here's a, and I'm going to talk a little bit about diets for a minute. And again, this principle of cycling through what we call training blocks works regardless of what your goals are. And the analogy that I use with people is, if you're getting ready for the Olympics, how you train for the Olympics 3 months prior to the Olympics is different than how you train for the year prior. So we really need to look at our training in blocks. A little tidbit for the people that want to lose weight out there: your dieting cannot be linear. And I say this, the example I use is, I see people all the time, they're like, okay, here are the calories I'm going to eat, and I'm going to eat these calories until I get to this weight. It simply does not work that way. And we need to go through these different cycles, if you will, of fat loss, and then reestablishing your metabolism, and then fat loss and reestablishing your metabolism. So that kind of begs the question, well, how long does this take, Dave, and how many cycles do I have to go through? It depends. Certainly a person that has 100 pounds to lose, those cycles would look different. And I'm kind of generalizing here a little bit because I'm speaking to the masses, but normally in a case like that, we would go after about 20 pounds at a time. So we're going to lose 20 pounds. We're going to reestablish the metabolism, go for the next 20, blah, blah, blah. The leaner you get, the less weight you have to do. Those cycles will probably be different and a little bit more frequent. Now with Abby, in wanting to tone, and she did not have a lot of fat to lose, but we spent more time boosting her metabolism. And we did that by lifting weights, making her more metabolic, right? Getting her eating more food, gets her body used to those added calories. And it just kind of, and again, all these things just start to work together and really help drive you to your goals.
Yeah.
Anything else to add to any of that, Abby? I don't mean to put you on the spot here, but.
No, that's all. Yeah, exactly what I've been doing, and just eating that food to help building my muscle by lifting weights. And I'm just amazed by really cutting all that cardio out, how much better I feel. And I have never been a weightlifter, even though I tried a little bit in college. My roommate and I, you talked to us about lifting. I mean, that happened for like a week in college, but I enjoy it so much and I look forward to it. And my kids see it. They know, like, they can pop into the gym, watch me, and go out and play. Like, Lucia was never used to that. I needed to like hold her while I was working out. That never worked. Like now, like the twins are so used to mommy working out. I think it's such a good, I'm being a good role model in that way for my children also.
You just steamrolled through about 10 great benefits.
Yeah.
You feel better.
Yeah.
And some of this we've talked about in the past. You're achieving your health goals. You feel better. You're sleeping better. You're setting a great example for your children.
Yeah.
Man, special stuff.
Absolutely.
Special stuff, and kudos to you. Physical changes.
Oh, wow. I mean, huge thing that you did for me was having me take monthly pictures and videos, because they were such slight changes, because I didn't have like a dramatic weight loss or anything like that, but I was truly building muscle. And if I didn't have those pictures to really help compare, like I see myself now and I'm so happy with where I am, the happiest I've ever been at 40 years old. But getting those pictures and really being able to compare and see how far I've come really was wonderful.
So you said I can talk about anything and that you're an open book. So here we go.
Okay.
First of all, from when we started to where we're at now, scale didn't move a lot.
No.
Okay. But
well, it went up a little bit.
It went up a little bit, gained a couple pounds, but growing a booty.
Yes.
Legs changing shape in a positive way.
Yes. I mean, my shoulders and my arms, like I absolutely am so happy with. But how funny, we've talked about that with the scale, like doesn't bother me. Like that's okay. Like that I'm getting on because I feel so good that the scale, it's like the number doesn't bother me.
Well, and to keep it in perspective, the weight variance was 4 or 5 pounds.
Right. Yeah. But even seeing it creep up, yes, I was okay with that. Yeah.
What are the chances we can get one of these today?
I practice like making those muscles. It's like, how do I do this? How do I show it off? But when I'm lifting, like I feel like I need that mirror in front of me because it feels good.
You look fantastic. Then we get into the next phase here of reestablishing your metabolism. So, once we get someone to their goals, I can't say, hasta la vista. I mean, especially if it was a weight loss person, okay? If somebody had significant weight to lose, we have to build their metabolism back up so it's sustainable, so they can keep it off without struggling. I don't want people to worry about this anymore. just, some tips here, things that can really hurt our metabolism are too low of calories. And as I said, we ended up doubling Abby's calories. Hey, one other quick thought on doubling Abby's calories. Remember, we get our nutrition from our food. So when we double Abby's calories, we are doubling her nutrition. Therefore, we're doubling her opportunities to be healthy and feel good. Okay. But again, metabolism killers, too low calories, spending too much time in a caloric deficit. And again, this is why we cycle around these fat loss and metabolism boosting periods. Too much cardio. Anything extreme, like we don't want to do extreme at all, and loss of muscle will also hurt your metabolism. Now, Abby, when we think, and I, what you were doing before we started working together is very, very normal. But when you see what you were doing and comparing it to the list of problems, I'm sorry, you were doing a lot of problems. Your calories were too low. You spent too much time in a caloric deficit. You were doing too much cardio. Whatever, 60, 90 minutes of cardio a day is, extreme, and you were hurting muscle and not building muscle. I mean, basically, you were doing all of the metabolism killers.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the bad news. Here's the good news. You turned it around, man.
Yeah.
You turned it around. Okay, Dave, what's this stupid thing here called the golden ring? The golden ring is when we hit your health goals. Okay, maybe your health goal is to not be diabetic. Okay, to not have a stroke or heart attack, or kind of reduce those chances. When we hit your aesthetic goals, for Abby, wanting to lose that little bit of under the belly button, postpartum weight, and we hit our lifestyle goals. Hey, when we do this, we're going to have to make some concessions in life. Okay, but we also want to enjoy life. And Abby and I have talked about this a lot. She's very social and, wanting to get out with friends and all of that. So let me tell you what my golden ring would be for me. Okay. My golden ring would be, I hit my health goals. I hit my aesthetic goals. And if I watch what I eat Sunday through Thursday, I can eat any damn thing I want Friday and Saturday. That would be like, for me, that would be my golden ring. Again, I hit my health goals, I hit my aesthetic goals, and I can eat anything I want on the weekend, as long with the caveat that we can't let this get out of control and I need to watch it, 5 days a week. What are your thoughts on that? And where are you, Abby, with regards to, your personal golden ring?
Yeah, same. I absolutely, it's easy for me to stay like on track. Like I don't drink during the week. I really stay on my nutrition during the week. And ideally, I want to be able to go out to dinner and have, a drink or two or have a nice dinner with my husband, or take the kids out somewhere or go to the beach and have that ice cream cone with them on the boardwalk. And I'm able to, and I feel like, just like I was saying earlier, how like I crave the good stuff. I crave that protein now. Like I'm still craving that on those days that I can be off, because I am in that golden ring, but I still naturally just fall into it, but I still allow myself to enjoy those beers or enjoy, that burger out, and that ice cream cone on the boardwalk with the kids.
It is all about lifestyle and balance.
Yeah.
And you know what? And you are a great living example of we can have it all.
Yes.
We
absolutely.
can be healthy and fit. And I hope, Abby, that when you have that ice cream cone on the boardwalk with the twins, that you're okay with that physically and mentally too.
Oh, totally. Absolutely. I don't think like, oh my goodness, what am I not having later because I'm having that? Like, I just know like I'm not going to have another ice cream cone on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. You know, this is like a time just to enjoy with my children, and I just enjoy it, and I just get right back into my routine as the week starts then.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Again, man, you're just smashing it. Well, let's finish up here. Hey, so as I mentioned before, we talked about all the places. I hope people can see all the challenges that people come across when creating a diet, whether it's a bad plan or they don't have a plan or they can't make it work within their lifestyle or they don't reestablish their metabolism at the end. Like, these are all areas where diets fail. And there's more. Let's see. I see life is short. Take it from a 59-year-old guy, life goes really freaking fast. And for me, I would just rather have a great focused time period, 3 months, 6 months, whatever that might be on your health and fitness, than just like 10 years of spinning your wheels and just not progressing. I like to progress. By the way, as we finish up here, I do group Zoom calls. If you have an organization and just want to do like question and answer or however you want that to look like, contact me. I also do free, no obligation consultations. Abby, this is where you're supposed to say, hey, Dave, how do we get in contact with you?
I know, Instagram, Facebook, I follow you for awesome tips on there for sure.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I do have a website, today'swarriorcoaching.com. You can email me at david@today'swarriorcoaching.com. I do have a Today's Warrior Facebook page. One thing that I'm kind of stupidly proud of is I really like my Facebook group. And so I have a Today's Warrior Facebook page, but also this Facebook group. Groups are a little bit different as it allows me to do some different things there. I can include PDFs of workouts. So there's just kind of some more information there. And maybe because it's my group, I can share some more personal experiences. So there's also that group. It's called Real Health and Fitness Talk for Today's Busy Adults. Again, Facebook group, Real Health and Fitness Talk for Today's Busy Adults. I do have Instagram at today_warrior_LLC, and I do have a YouTube channel also. All these things are pretty interconnected. You can reach me at any of those if you have questions. You just want to talk about your health and fitness. I hope I'm very passionate about this, and I just want to help people and help people be happy and healthy and live their best lives. So, Abby, anything else?
I started with your YouTube videos and it just snowballed from there, working with you one-on-one. I can't thank you enough for the past 2 years, and this journey has been absolutely incredible, and I have never felt better.
Well, thank you for all those kind words. I was not trying to cue you up for some compliment there, but I'll take it. And by the way, you did all the work. You did all the work, and maybe you just needed a little help getting pointed in the right direction. But this is all about you, and this is all about you being awesome and a great wife and a great mom and healthy and fit, and just living life and loving life. Hey, Abby, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate all your time. And I'm going to sign off now. You guys contact me. Abby, I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.